Hi guys, in today's video we're gonna start referencing our database we've created in the previous video, but before that I'd just like to say that I've created this to-do-list GitHub repo in order to store the source code for each particular part we're writing in these videos, so you would be able to see of how the things are done. So if you've made some little mistakes or if the code gives you an error, so you could reference over here in order to compare your own code with this one I've written over in this repo. Okay, and another little thing to mention that I've made a couple of changes to the source code that had been written in the previous part. So here we had like kinda everything in a bunch within the single app.js file, and what we want now is actually to clean up code a bit, and what we've got starting the part 2 is actually so this is the project folder, and now we have two additional folders, API and routes. API contains the empty task.js file, and the routes contains router.js. And the reason for doing this that this sort of app operations like referencing the HTTP requests is really nice to separate into the single file, and that's what is known as the encapsulation, and that comes really handy and makes the code much more readable, clean and clear and understandable. So here in the router we also include actually the package for our task handler that we're supposed to create in this video here, and then we initialize the router, so we create an express variable one more time and then the router. And please know that if here we had the app.get, then now we actually using router.get, and router is the express.router object. Okay, also we move the body parser part from the main app from here to the router, for we would need this actually in the router, and the same for the mongoose. So mongoose is now actually at the router, and our app.js looks like this. So we just create we import the router from the routes router.js like over here, and we also create an instance of our app and just ask our app to use the router module here, and the port code basically remains the same. Okay, so let's start. Now we're supposed to write start writing our task handler, and in this particular video we're supposed to get the data from the database, so we would be able to see the JSON raw JSON format in our browser at localhost colon 5000 /API/tasks. Okay, so let's actually start writing our task handler. Okay, so the first thing we want is actually to import mongoose package, well, like this. So const mongoose is equal require mongoose. So we would also need it over here, not only in the router.js. Okay, and now let's define another variable. I'm sorry. Define task schema, and this one is really important. So let's make another constant task schema is equal to mongoose.schema, and now something interesting is going to happen actually, and just like this. So as you remember from the first video, we had actually two elements, the task part and the description, basically of the task, so the task itself. So here we have to use this word task, and our task has a type of string. That's the first thing, and the second thing is actually it requires to be there actually. So this string is really needed. So if you don't put this required true overhead, then in that case you would be able to add empty entries to the to-do list database, but that's not the behavior we're supposed to have. So just require the string to be over there, or otherwise it won't work correctly. Okay, and now we want to create date in order to keep track of when did we actually add our entry to the to-do list. So type is actually date, and by default we want use date dot now. Okay, this seems to be it. And now let's define, that's actually called export task object like this. So here we say const task equals module exports equals mongoose model, and parameters here. So the first is this task, the second is actually the task schema itself, task schema. Okay, so this seems to be just fine, and what we're supposed to perform in this particular video is the only option available from the others is actually the get task. So we want so what this piece of code would be doing, we're now supposed to write, it would actually make it able to display the data of the tasks collection of the to-do list database we have created in the browser window. Okay, so here we want our module exports get task function, get task, and I'll use the arrow function definition again, and the callback is the first argument and the limit is the second. Well, this limit is actually the variable handling the number of the entries in the entire to-do list database and the tasks collection. Okay, and we now want simply say task find callback dot limit and limit over here. Okay, so I hold my breath and see if everything is still working correctly. Well, it seems to be like so. Okay, and now the last thing left to add is actually to have to arrange our new request for the particular address we're supposed to look for our list at. Okay, so we want here get tasks, so we create another route here, so router.get, and now okay, and now we just ask our task object, and please know that we have already imported this task object that also contains the methods that were described over here. So task object already contains the method get task, so please bear this in mind. Okay, now we want task actually get task, and here a little error handler error, so error tasks, and now we want to say if it throws an error, actually then throw error. So if everything goes wrong, if something goes wrong, then throw an error. And by default we want just res.json actually to print our tasks, to render them to the browser window like this. Okay, and okay, probably yeah, I forgot the most important thing here, just to specify the particular address of where we're supposed to reference. So yeah, just forgot this, sorry. So API /tasks. Okay, and I hold my breath and hope everything is working. It's not. Okay, unexpected token where task.get router.js 22 task get task. Is it get task or get tasks? Get task. Okay. What kind of unexpected? Okay, get task. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Oh guys, I'm just sorry. Sorry for this inconvenience. I've put this to the wrong location, so I'm really sorry for this. What have I done? Oh, okay, just a little bit disaster here. A little bit disaster. Okay, so it's like this. Oh, shame on me, guys. What have I done? Okay, I forgot to add my callback function here. So request response like this. Okay, is this now okay? Okay. Okay, and now I hold my breath again and go to actually our API tasks, and I hope to see the list we have created. Okay, Eureka, guys. Okay, this is it. So here we have actually the list we've created in our database in the previous video. So there were actually 3 elements, but during some tests I've deleted one, so it's only 2 for now. Okay, this is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and like it, and probably find something useful. And the next video we're gonna actually keep adding some functionality. So probably the next video we'll try to actually update the given entry here. So say we want to get up not at 5 o'clock but at 7 o'clock, so something like that. So just add it in the entry of the database. Okay guys, until next video, take care.